want a bike that starts when you ask it, doesn't go rusty because you've inadvertently left it in the sea, doesn't leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere just because the air's a little bit damp, then you buy a Honda. What to do then when you need a proper enduro bike? Something as tall and as light as Jody Kidd, with enough power to uproot trees. Well, you buy a Honda XR650R then, don't you?
Let's clear up any confusion. Honda produced two XR650s, the steel-framed, air-cooled, old-hat XR650L with proper lights, soft suspension and road tyres. It dates back to the 1980s and quite frankly it shows. No, the one here is the R, the L's evil brother, and it looks like it's been at the steroids with its beefy alloy frame, liquid cooling and a whopping 60 brake horsepower. Probably from tick over, knowing Honda. Kickstarting a big four-stroke is usually a very interesting affair. In a perverse way I was hoping I'd have to start squatting some serious weight to get my legs ready for a big gnarly bike like this. Maybe not Michelle McManus type of weight, but at least Vanessa Feltz. The truth is, it's easy. I suppose that's a good thing if you're up to your axles in mud, but I did want a bit more of a challenge. Just find top dead centre, pull the decompression lever, and go just a little bit further, then a nice steady prod and away she goes. No throttle, no fuss. Out on the road the suspension is nice and firm for a bike with a foot of travel at both ends. The front does dip quite a lot when you squeeze that excellent front brake hard, but not as much as some of the softer trail bikes out there. It's a trail bike, so tyres are always going to be a limiting factor when cornering, but these TKC80s never let go of me, unlike those standard motocross Michelins the bike comes with. This American model has been de-restricted, just like the European ones, and because it breathes properly, the top end is suitably ferocious, lifting the front wheel off the throttle in the first 3 gears and probably the other 2, if you have any talent, which of course I don't. Whatever you do though, don't bother going on any motorways, or even long dual carriageways for that matter. The seat's hard and narrow, and unless your bottom is too, it's not going to forgive you. On back roads though, this bike is real fun. That tall seat giving you a commanding view over hedges, and those wide bars giving great leverage to steer around any tractors or cows you happen across. Most people buy this bike to go off-road though, and that's when it comes into its own. At 128 kilograms, it's as light as many 250 trail bikes, but with almost 3 times the power. I was never as scared as I thought I was going to be. It's damn easy to ride fast, even for an amateur like me. I was climbing the highest mountains and forging the deepest ditches before I knew it. The tight stuff was more challenging. Just knowing that if I even looked at the throttle wrong, it would be spinning the back wheel was enough to scare my pants off. All that power comes at a price though. Don't expect to be out all day on 1 tank of fuel. If you're off-roading, you'll be lucky to get 40 miles before hitting reserve, so make sure you plan your route around all the petrol stations you can find. To be fair, I'm nitpicking though, as all bikes in this class are exactly the same. Honda's XR650R already has a great reputation for reliability, and even if it does go wrong, you'll be able to get all the parts you need from any Honda shop in the country. Honda think of this bike in competition terms and expect you to do the same. No 4,000 mile service intervals here. The dealer told me you should be changing the oil every time you use it in competition, or every 1,000 miles if you just poodle around on it. In summary, it's a great bike. It's generally well made, although the finishing on the clutch cover was already starting to rub off after a couple of 100 miles. The suspension is excellent, but how long it will last compared to the European competition is anyone's guess, and the engine is simply stunning. It can be thrashed across the desert or tickled along in heavy traffic. On the downside though, it is very tall with a hard narrow seat. It's vibey over any distance, and that wicked throttle is going to punish the unwary. It's not for learners or direct access types. Then again, it is a competition bike. The Honda list price for this bike is £4,750, but I've seen them for as little as £4,000 on the road, and for that sort of money, you can't really go wrong, can you?